Yo, man. So we're back again for another episode of the Grounded Show, and it's nice little collaboration with Sean Madden. What's the official name of your podcast?
I switched it to the Sean Madden
The
show.
Sean
I
Madden
think
Show.
last year.
All right.
Yeah.
What was it before that?
In the hall.
In the hall. What was the origin of that?
Getting kicked out of class and just like talking shit with the. It was a whole thing about like when you're in. If you get kicked out of class, you're not the only kid in the hallway. There's hallway kids.
Facts.
You know, like you're just out there because you talk too much. But the kid next to you, like he had a gun in his backpack, or like he stabbed the teacher. Now you got to talk to him for 90 minutes till the cops come get him.
Did you ever skip class like in high school?
I didn't skip class, but I would just if I showed up to the school like parking lot and I already heard the warning bell like ding ding ding, I'm like, man, fuck this. I just went and got McDonald's breakfast.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna be late, at least have some food. You know what I mean?
I remember we used to skip class, and it's like when you think about it, it's the stupidest thing because you're still at school, and the whole time you're skipping, you're just trying not to get caught skipping. You know what I mean? Like you're just kind of roaming the halls, and then you see other kids.
Oh, you were at school skipping?
Yeah, like
what's the point of
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I think about it now, and it's like you would see other kids from afar that were doing the same thing, and y'all just kind of like nod to each other.
Just go learn the Pythagorean theorem at that point, bro. Instead of hiding under the water fountain.
Yeah, that's one thing that I wish I would have learned when I was younger. Like that it's way harder to avoid work than just doing work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just go through so much trying to be lazy that it's like, bro, just do it. It's just better for everybody if you just do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. For a certain extent, I did golf course maintenance, and trust me, you'll do anything not to shovel sand.
How was that? Where was it, like a high end golf club or like?
Oh yeah. This is when I was really down bad, like 9 months ago. For like 3 months, I would get up at like 4 a.m. to go like cut grass, or I would, bro. You'd have a miner's light on your forehead because you have to do it before the first like person tees off.
Mm-hmm.
So, bro, I'd have to do like Mr. Miyagi circles in the sand with the rake to make it look beautiful.
Oh yeah.
At like 4 a.m., dog. It's snakes and shit.
It's crazy, like thinking about the problems that were probably in your life at that time, and then the guy that went to the golf course probably really was like mad whenever those circles weren't there. You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff that bothered him.
Bro, you would see the members and they would all be like, oh, good day. You know, like, because it was like 110,000 just to like sign up. And then you got to pay like $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, get some paper towels.
No, it's all good. It already happened.
I mean, all right, dude.
You just gotta let it happen to me. But yeah, I man, 110,000 for what?
For the initiation fee.
For the initiation
and then
fee?
It was like your $3,000 a month dues.
Oh
they call it.
Oh my gosh, bro! 110,000
to
just to be able to play golf somewhere.
Yeah, so you'd be weed whacking, and then you just hear like, woo, 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 like Ferraris pull up, and you're crazy. Like, well.
The only thing I know about country clubs is what I see on Curb Your Enthusiasm when they be hanging out in the country club, and they be making them like wear a shirt with a collar when they're inside and stuff like that. They can't have their cell phones out and stuff. I'm like, dang, bro, that's really how it be in there.
Yeah, no, it's they don't really play games, man. I mean, they play games, that's the whole thing, but they don't look like they're having any fun.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
All they're doing is playing games, but they look like they're miserable.
They're playing games with mad rules.
Yeah.
Like you're not just enjoying the game. You're putting mad restrictions on it.
Just like it's Karen golf. Like you ever seen people play croquet?
Mm-hmm.
That's how rich people were there. They like would bring their own mallet, and then they wear all white. I didn't know that was a thing, dude. Kind of creepy. Big white like sombrero hats and like all white. It looked like Get Out.
It's like, do you think it's just like it was just been accustomed for so long that that's just all they know? Like, you know what I mean?
Like they always had money.
Yeah, they always had money. They always did things like that. So it's just kind of like,
I think so.
You know,
I feel like you can be so rich you're corny, and that's that's what they are.
Yeah, to a certain point, like, and it's like it's happened since the beginning of time. I feel like if you're coddled, you're just a cornball.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like it always happens. Like if you got everything and you don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of crazy to think that you doing better, you're kind of dooming your future generations. You know what I mean? Because then they don't got to do as much, and then it's like
Well, your whole bloodline gets like weaker and weaker. And now
exactly.
you're seeing like royalty crumble because it's like everyone's on TikTok,
Mhm.
and it's like you just act like a king, and they're like, you know what I mean? No one cares anymore, bro.
But it's
There's no
great.
structure.
It's crazy too, because like they have those stories of certain like sons of kings or whatever that once their dad dies and they take over, they just like destroy the whole, they destroy the whole village or destroy the whole empire because
Oh
they're
yeah,
just being idiots. You know
they
what I mean?
crashed the family chariot,
Facts,
joyriding, and now it's like the family Maybach or whatever.
bro.
It's just the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it's wild. I was reading about one of the sons of one of the emperors in Rome. So it was Marcus Aurelius, and then his son's name was Commodus. And basically, Commodus was one of those like we're talking about. Like he was kind of lazy. He was always just had like a whole bunch of prostitutes and stuff like that. So when he became king, he ended up getting like 600 prostitutes, like 300 chicks and like 300 dudes. And that's just like that was his whole like little clique of like his
He was banging
prostitutes.
dudes too,
He was banging everything.
bro. At that point, you gotta respect it. He sounds like a bodega owner. I know.
A bodega owner. Yeah, I mean, he pretty much was when you think about it. He definitely was. He had control of the grains.
Yeah, he's just making micheladas in the back.
Micheladas. Speaking of bodega owners, you seen that one dude on TikTok that he makes the like crazy sandwiches and stuff and be like, sure.
I don't know if I've seen him. I've seen the one where the guy like it's like a game show. People are just trying to buy backwoods, and he's like, guess a color, and they're like, bro, come on. It's like in Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Now there's
like,
this one in New York that he's like, he just makes them gross New York things that like, for example, there's like a little food truck around here that's like a New York food truck. You know what I'm saying? And I went to it and I felt like everything there was like gross. Like it's like over, like mad cheese or like you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's
well,
like too extra. And then like the guy that I'm talking about, he'll do something where it's like he'll make a sandwich with like ground beef and Fruit Loops and cheese, and he'll fry cheese sticks on it, and he'll put it on the grill and like fry it all up. It's like it's crazy, bro.
that's just like that weird kid in middle school that grew up that would like put his milk in the corn and shit. And you're like, bro, what are you doing?
But you know how like there's like a whole community now of like you just see a whole bunch of gross treats. Like people will put like cheeseburgers on pizzas with nachos and like
Yeah,
put it in in the oven, and it's like, what is that?
it's the end of civilization.
The end of
Is what it is.
civilization. It's kind of like Commodus. He had the 600 whores. To a certain point, we just eat everything and say, fuck it, just put it all together.
I mean, yeah, it's just ancient Hunter Biden.
Hey, that's kind of like
He didn't
Commodus
have
when you think
crack.
about it too. Like he's just the guy's son, just always privileged. Look what he's up to.
This was BC before computers.
Before computers, bro.
You didn't have the laptop, the Commodus laptop.
You think he had like a tablet, like a literal tablet, where he just had like everything like scratched in, all his escapades,
like 400 whores,
yeah,
engraved on some.
like
concrete.
today I got my dick sucked from every angle, like, and if they found it, they're like, oh my god,
hieroglyphics is the fucking eggplant emoji.
Eggplant emoji. Yo, it's crazy, man. I was talking to my boy the other day, like, just about the concept that no matter what time period we're talking about, like the means were different, but the ideas were the same. People thought the same thing. You know what I mean? Like emotions were the same. Emotions don't really change. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's crazy, bro. Long story short, I got stuck in a mall in France with like credit cards denying because like I forgot to let them know I was going overseas. So I was just like sitting on a bench in a mall in France and just watching people interact with their kids, and I'm like, it's all the same, dude. They're just slapping their kid with like,
with
a different accent. And you're like, it's the same shit, dude.
Yeah.
This kid's fucking up. The kid that runs in the mall falls, starts crying. It's the same. It's just the same. We're all human.
Yep.
But they just have a dumb accent.
I always found it funny, like certain people, and it's usually people that don't travel as much
Mhm.
that love to romanticize a location, like if like you said, like if the people were different there or something like that. And
Right.
it's like, although to us, I feel like to a certain aspect, people are a little different places, but just from the point of view of like some places they'll be a little nicer. When you go to like a more busy city, people are a little more rude because they're just
A little
kind of just
cutthroat.
yeah, they're a little more
Yeah.
just trying to do their thing
Well,
type
they
thing.
see tourists as like, get out of my way, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here on vacation.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This is my livelihood.
Yeah, man. I lived in Pennsylvania for like 3 months. I came right back, bro, because when I was out there, it was just it made me miserable. So I understood why they were miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I went out there in the middle of the winter. You know, there was a blizzard. You got to wake up like mad hours before to like get somewhere because there's like snow everywhere, and you got to like
Yeah,
defrost the
nah.
car and stuff.
Check, please.
Yo, imagine you're getting up to start your day, and before you even accomplished anything, it's been like 3 or 4 hours of you doing work.
Oh yeah, your morning dig your car out.
Dig your car out, slow drive, all that stuff. It just, and then 3, 4 hours later, then it's like, oh, now I'm at work and I have to work a whole shift to then do the same thing on my way back home. Like,
And then find parking.
crazy, man. It's nah, man. I don't shout out to the people that live up north because nah,
Yeah,
man.
bro. I lived it for like 3 years. As a kid, the snow was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I was like, every time it snowed, I'd see like my dad like getting mad. And I'm like, it's a wonderful time of the year. And he's like, yeah, I gotta shovel this shit.
Yep.
I gotta fucking do this. It was like always like a pain in the ass. And I'm throwing snowballs, building snowmen.
It's funny, man, because
It's
when
weird.
me and my brother, when we moved up there, the first time we saw snow was up there, and we're originally from Puerto Rico. Like I was born in Puerto Rico, so I'm definitely not like a cold guy at all.
No,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So like
You're an
when
island boy.
yeah, facts. When that first snow hit, it was the middle of the night too. We ran out like, oh man, this is crazy, the snow, whatever. He made a snowball and threw it at me. That shit hurt. I was so pissed
It's probably
because
just more ice than
yeah,
anything.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it was basically like he just made a ice cube and just threw it at my face. You
That's
know
a
what I
Puerto
mean?
Rican snowball.
That's a Puerto Rican snowball. That's how you know we was rookies. You know what I mean? Like we over here putting the ice
Yeah.
together,
You're
throwing it at
throwing
each
you're
other.
throwing fucking first degree misdemeanors. Assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, those are the window breakers right there, dog. That's like a golf ball coming at you.
Yeah, bro. You gotta get the powdery stuff.
Yeah, I know. Now that you mention that, we went to Colorado on 420 a couple years in a row, but the first time that we went, it just happened to snow that time. Like, and the people that lived, like all the Uber drivers and everything, were telling us like, oh, it's rare that it snows this late in the year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But it snowed at like close to like one of the top of the mountains. We're high as fuck, dog. It starts snowing like, and like the clouds are underneath us. It's snowing on a mountain. The sun's peaking. I'm doing a fucking snow angel. It's 420, dog. It was like I felt like I was on top of the world that day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
especially
bro.
not seeing. That was my first time seeing like mountains like that.
That's
You know what I mean?
beautiful.
Like I had seen mountains before, but not like a mile up type stuff.
And you know why you really enjoyed it? Because you didn't have to drive down the mountain to go to work.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you'd be like, fuck shit.
Facts. Yeah.
But yeah, you're doing snow angels.
Yep.
You're not clocking in.
Yeah. I can't. Man.
It's different when it's like an inconvenience, because snow can be an inconvenience.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I mean, I lived in Long Beach, New York, and one of my favorite things was we had like a deck, like a patio, and we would just put the beer and like all our stuff just in the snow. It was like just like an outdoor cooler. So we go out there,
No, that's
grab
fire.
some, and it was just like a vibe.
I used to see people up there that would have like a jacuzzi built into the ground, like in their yard or in their backyard, and they would just be out there when it was snowing.
Yeah, it's gangster.
I saw that a lot in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, because you're like sitting in 100-degree water,
and you'll
and
see them
everything's
like
melting around you.
you'll see them get out like walking with the swimsuit on, because their body's still hot and everything. And
Yeah.
it's like a crazy snow, you know what I mean?
That's a vibe.
Yeah, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
When I came across you, it was like seeing all that Florida man stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those different things. And then I went and seen you. You were on a lineup with Jari, and it was funny as hell. And I kind of wanted to ask you like when you started doing comedy, and also like what kind of led to you kind of catching a vibe with like the Florida man stuff and the interviews you was doing as the Florida man type thing.
Yeah. So getting into stand up, um, I just kind of ended up being a loser in California. I ended up out there like doing a sales gig, and it like fell apart, the office. So I was like living with like a coworker I barely knew, and he went home on Thanksgiving. I didn't have the money for like a ticket to go back to Florida, so I'm just like out there in California, just like I was fat, bro. I was like eating like a ham sandwich on Thanksgiving, just and I was watching like every special, like anything to just like make me laugh. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
I was just like down bad.
Yeah, yeah, I
So I
feel
was
that.
like, I'll watch, pretty much every comedy thing I can find, listen to anything, podcast, and then I was like, I really think I could do this. Like I don't know, like I could figure it out. Like I knew it was like a bold statement of being like having no experience and being like I could do that because that's just like what everybody says. But everybody that I was listening to would say like move to New York City. That's where you got to start because it's the most stage time. So like for the next 2 years, I had my wallpaper on my phone of the club Stand Up New York because I'm like, oh, I want to perform there. And like just after 2 years, I just like ended up in New York City.
Were
Just
you
like,
doing comedy in those 2 years or
nah,
no?
bro. I just like I'm gonna start in New York City
Mm,
because you ever read
probably not. I
the
don't read.
33 Strategies of War?
No.
So there's this thing called Death Ground where generals would literally put their troops up against mountains to where they couldn't retreat because when your back's like against the wall, you fight twice as hard. So
Mm,
they'd win more battles
yeah.
putting them in shitty situations. So there's like a thing to that. So I knew if I just like trap myself in New York City, I'd have no other.
Yeah. Sink or
It's do or
swim.
yeah. I'll either make it or just be like the funniest homeless person, you know. And I had like $400 in a Saturn Ion 2003 and just mobbed up there. I remember driving through New York City the first night, just being like, what did I do?
You drove from
I drove from Ohio,
oh, okay,
so I
okay.
was selling alarms in Ohio door to door because that's like door to door sales is what I've always done. So I was in Ohio on a blitz, that's what they call it, and I was just in a neighborhood, and I was like, dude, I'm closer than I ever will be to New York City. I'm like 4 hours, I think it was like 4 or 7 hours, something like that, and I left at like 3 a.m. Just fucking dipped on the company, and yeah, I had a hotel in New York for 2 weeks, and I just like figured it out, bro. But it was nuts. And I had the time of my life, dude, taking that risk. Like some of the best years of my life, bro. Like the first 2 years in New York City, just not knowing what the hell to do.
I could imagine, man. New York is one of those places that literally looks like how it looks in the movies when you go out there. Like it's like mad, like it's impressive. You know what I
You
mean? The
can't
first time you
smell the
see it.
movies, but the smell is the 4D
The 40's
really
real.
changes everything. But no, there's nothing like New York City, man. It'll forever have a place in my heart. That's where I got good at comedy because I feel like
You ever see
every
yourself going back there?
oh for sure,
Yeah.
dude. I still have like really good friends there that are like shout out Nick Tillelli. He got passed at a few clubs now. So it's like that's the dream is like it's one thing to be a New York stand-up comedian, but to like be living off comedy in your city, especially in New York, that's like an accolade, man.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to be a New York comedian, you know, at least coming up.
Yeah.
So,
So what's the aspect of New York comedy that's different than the aspect of like Orlando comedy?
well, I think it's just stage time, man, and Orlando's about to change for the better 2024. I know that for a fact. It's just the lack of venues, bro. And there's no scene. There's a scene now, but there was no like, there's no other big names. Orlando's kind of a ghost town as far as stand up or like, I feel like a lot of live performance, but I feel like a lot of talented people come out of Florida. It's just, they always feel like they have to leave the state. And I was the same way, bro. Like I never started in Florida,
Yeah.
but I knew it has a scene and it's growing. And so I think the difference, man, is you can go on stage 8 times a night if you want to in New York. You might have to pay a couple $5 for 5 minutes spots, like pay to play.
Yeah.
But if you really want that stage time, I mean, you can get an hour of stage time over like 8 to 10 spots in New York City at night, and they're all right there. You walk, take the Uber, take the subway,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's every night's just like it's a movie, bro. You know, but it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the difference, bro. It's just like the raw going down into basements to tell jokes, going into like a fire hazard situation to sling a dick joke. It's like, oh man, it's all worth it.
It is. I have this like little theory where it's like, I mean, it's not like an exclusive theory, but I always feel like you got to pay the cost no matter what. You know what I mean? Like some people pay, like literally pay the cost by going to school. You know what I mean? Where they're putting themselves in $100,000 of debt to say, this is what's gonna pay
Yeah,
my
man.
bills, and this is how I'm gonna go forward. Some people do it, go to the army, and they're literally, boot camp and away from their family, and they're doing the sacrifice that way. You know what I mean? But
Right.
everybody always has to. I don't want to say take that L, but it's like
It's sweat equity.
exactly like you're not gonna ever jump in a situation and be like good, like well off. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the part that be the barrier for a lot of people, where they just don't understand that it's like you're always gonna have to be the corny one. You're always gonna have to figure it out. Whatever you're trying to do, it's not always gonna land, and that reality is, I feel like, what holds a lot of people back. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's held me back, man. Like, up until I would say probably like 8 months ago is just being like, I don't give a fuck in the sense of like, it, even if the next 40 podcast episodes suck, I'm still gonna do them
Mm-hmm.
because it's just you get better every time, or you come up with a thought or an idea
Yeah.
that leads to something better. But just being messy with it, man. Like I always thought everything having to be perfect, it just delays your greatness, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
because you're holding yourself back at that point.
And then, kind of like going off of what you're saying, when you're doing the creative stuff, your quote unquote resume is like the things you've done. You know what I mean? And like a lot of creative people don't understand that you never doing anything, it closes doors for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because people aren't going to reach out because they see that you're not working. You know
Right.
what I mean? And if people see that you're not working, why would they put work your way? You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's like a concept that people kind of don't understand. Like you gotta create some movement for people to want to move with you. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It goes back to that thing of if you're just sitting in your car with the flashers on and you're like, oh man, I wish someone was here to help me push my car. But if people see you pushing your car,
Yep.
they'll pull over and just help you push a stranger's car to the gas station.
Facts. That's a
A
perfect
complete
analogy.
stranger, bro. And it's the same thing. Like I'm 125 episodes or whatever deep into the podcast, and I'm like not being patient with it. I'm like, dude, you've only been doing it 2 years. It's a complete reset. It's just like stand up. Like I'm 7 to 8 years into stand up, but I'm only 2 years into podcasting. So it's not going to be as good as the stand up because it's a completely different format.
Mm-hmm.
But just building that catalog right now, like even on YouTube, I have 124 more episodes or more pieces of content on YouTube that people are finding as I'm sleeping. So it's like having that catalog, and people want to see the progression, man.
Facts.
Go back and listen to your favorite podcast or your favorite artist, like first couple songs. You're gonna be like, ooh,
Yep.
no wonder they didn't blow up at that time.
Mm-hmm. That be the thing too, man. And I feel like we've all been guilty of it. It's like sometimes you get a little restless and kind of feel like, dang, why am I not getting my opportunity? It's like you're not there yet. You know what I mean? And that's a hard reality for people,
Yeah.
just to really understand, like, yeah, you're getting better and you're figuring it out, but you're not there yet. You haven't that, like you said, that sweat equity is not there.
I've had that conversation with myself a lot too, is like, yeah, you're good, but you're not great. You're not, there's so many comedians out there. Why would they pay to watch your act? And if you have that like honest conversation,
Mm-hmm.
not only do you like really get in the books and like start writing or like just being, it makes you be more creative, like forcefully. I can't explain it,
Yeah.
but you almost will your way into like bettering yourself.
Yeah. That you were like the second or third person that's told me that recently. So I definitely got to do it. I'm gonna get a nice little notebook and start doing that.
Do it, bro.
But that kind of makes me think also of like a concept that I always argue with is like, you always see these things on Instagram and stuff. People are saying like, oh, support your friends, like you support these celebrities, whatever, whatever.
Right.
But it's like, I look at it the other way, like, bro, the people around you never signed up to be a fan of your type of content. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
just because
Yeah.
they mess with you, like, why people don't think like maybe these people don't consume this kind of content, period. You know what I mean? Like for us to think that the people around us have to support just because we decided to do something is kind of like, to me, is like kind of naive. And also like you got to find your people. You know what I mean? Like shout out to my boy Freddie. He helps me a lot with like the music marketing and promotion and stuff. And he's the one that really put that in my brain. Like you got to find the fans of your music. You know what I'm saying? Like don't
So
don't
true,
try to
bro.
make people around you like you already, everybody that messes like that is around you, they've already decided if they're gonna listen to your music or not.
Bro,
Go
it's
look
like
for other people.
you're being the kid that has to sell chocolate bars to go on the field trip,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just hitting up everybody you know, like, you want to buy some chocolate, and they're like,
Exactly.
nah, dog, I don't even eat chocolate. That's your podcast. That's your music. That's your
Mm-hmm.
stand up. So yeah, I get that, bro. And it's also like people that aren't in the entertainment industry, they don't understand like the lifestyle or how you have to operate in order to achieve the level of success you want in that particular industry. And seeing that is like, I got to be less like, I don't know. People ask me the same comedy question over and over and over again, just like every day or anytime I meet someone new. It's like, so, how do you come up with your skits?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're going to say when you go on stage? And it's copy and paste for
Yeah.
everybody. But I got to be more like, I got to just be more understanding of that. Of like, yeah, it's got to be weird
Mm-hmm.
because this is a weird ass thing that I do.
Yep. And
Sometimes
it's like
I,
those
yeah,
people that have never even stepped in a comedy club or never have like even put themselves out there for anything, they'll ask you because a lot of times they're impressed by it. You know what I mean? It's something,
right.
especially with comedy, man. Like it's something everybody always says, but comedy is super brave, bro. Like you standing up in a room full of strangers, like trying to, because it's not, to me, it's not just jokes. Like you're trying to relate through the joke. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, at least that's how I feel like whenever you're listening to comedy. Because if it was just somebody just straight trying to be funny, you know, I don't feel like it would be the same thing as somebody really telling a story and making it funny.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think when you asked me earlier before we recorded, was like, what's your 2024 goals? And I think one of them is also to like take time to tell a story and not just have these jokey jokes or like funny thoughts, but actually like be more vulnerable on stage and like, I guess, share more a piece of like who I am
Yeah.
than just like,
That makes me think about that show that you were at too, the comedy competition that Jari put on. Remember the guy that got towards the end of the competition, he was just saying he ran out of material 2 rounds ago and was talking
yeah.
about how he just started doing comedy. He didn't have enough material for this, but people thought it was funny because he was just saying some real
And
stuff.
then he went on to talk about his life
Mm-hmm.
and like his wife and stuff. And it was just like naturally relatable and funny. And that's what won that round for him because it's just people want the real now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
People see right through the fake shit now,
Yep.
bro. People are way too smart and also way too dumb.
That's why I feel like the reps are so good. Like you're saying, like going, like for you, it's going to different clubs and working on material and stuff. For me, it's being locked in the studio. It's like you're you're just trying to be honest, but you're refining your skill to do your honesty in a way more clever way than a normal person would. You know what I mean? Because yeah, being honest is easy, but being honest in a way that you can captivate an audience, being honest in a way that you can make people laugh and think about what you said and relate it to their lives and stuff, like that's a different thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. And going back to why you do it in the first place, like I got into stand up because I was like alone and like fucking sad and shit. And I'm like, oh, I want to be adding to the content of somebody else who needs like a laugh
Mm-hmm.
or someone who's like on the way to work of a job that they hate, but they got that 6 a.m. laugh on the way to work because it's like something I wrote or said. Like once you go back to like wanting to have fun with it,
Yeah,
changes everything, bro.
facts. That and even like, for example, like with me with the music, there was like a time period where I was just like, even up until very recently, that I was just trying to make the best music I could, but like that was literally my mentality. I wasn't, like we are saying, I wasn't trying to tell a story with it. I wasn't trying to think, okay, what vibe do I want to give this? I was just like, yo, I want to make the best music I can.
You're
And
just trying to make bangers.
exactly. And then I realized it's like I can't just try to make the best music I can. I got to figure out what's going to be the message with these things, like what are the topics, like what's going to be the twists and turns in the song, like you got to figure out the bones of it first, you know what I
You
mean?
gotta
Not
touch
just
their soul,
exactly.
and they'll feel it too. Like some of the best albums, you're just like you can feel that person really took their time and like made something masterful.
So check this out. I want to get your opinion on this because in music they always say that after somebody drops their first album, it's only downhill from there because their first album is kind of like their whole life.
Well, it's that yeah, the sophomore jinx is
Yep.
what they call it.
So, do you think that that kind of principle translates to comedy? Because I feel like comedy is much less like common that somebody like their first special is like their greatest special. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it'll be like the second or third. You know what I mean? A lot
I
of
mean, for some people only have one special, you know. But I think it's the same way. I think the more money you make in comedy, the less funny you get.
it's harder.
Um, because after a show, when you get on a private jet, I feel like you know.
Hmm.
I hope I never mail it in, but yeah, I think the more comfortable you get, the less of your edge is there.
Do you think certain people like I always think like Kanye comes to mind? Like, do you ever think some artists kind of subconsciously torture themselves to not sacrifice their art? Because I've always kind of felt like there's certain people that they'll just get to such a comfortable place that they just create chaos themselves because they just kind of like that feeling of the friction. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it goes to self sabotage. You know, like some people are scared of success, and so they'll purposely sidetrack themselves or ruin themselves. Because once you go into that, that's a different. People don't like change, even if it's for like positive change. And I've been a victim of that too. Of like, I've turned down certain business opportunities to not get pulled out of the comedy world.
Yeah.
And sometimes you sit there broke, or like you get paid $30 for a show, and you're like, "Damn, dog, I should have did the
Hmm.
financial opportunity." But then you have those guys that are in that looking at and looking at what you're doing, and they're like, "Man, it's so cool that you're like following what you want to do." Because like the money is only a piece of it,
Yeah. Money's
you
a
know.
funny thing, man. Like I was when I was like in high school, there was like a little time period where I was homeless. Like it wasn't that long, but like it was like something that always put it in perspective for me, like how unimportant money is. You know what I mean? Because when you hit that rock bottom, it's like you kind of really see that like if you go up, you go down. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to live your life no matter what's going on, and you can always find a way to navigate. You know what I mean? I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of people kind of lead with their money situation instead of saying, okay, I know I need to do certain things. You know, you need to make changes to get out of it. Let's change up this routine. You know what I mean?
right.
Instead of just focusing every day, oh, I don't got money. You know, it's kind of like what you were saying earlier. Like you felt down and out, and you came up with a plan. You put it in action, and it propelled you to a better situation.
Right.
If you were just kind of sitting around like, dang, I'm broke. Like this sucks. You know what I mean? Like
You
you
got
would
to
still
just
be in
keep
the same.
going, bro. You got to keep going, man. Like there's a beauty in the struggle and rock bottom, dude. Like when you have nowhere to go but up, that can be so powerful, you know. I remember my car was out for repo, and like every time I hear like a tow truck or like a beep, I'd run outside,
Yeah.
and it would be like an Amazon like backing out of the neighborhood, and I'm like, all right, cool. I remember like I got my car towed, and then every time I heard a beep, I'd freak out. But then I'm like, nah, I already got my car towed.
Yeah, yeah.
The worst thing that could happen has happened. But now it's like, all right, let's get another car. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta just keep going, bro. Like, people are scared to, like they say, like 40 grand kills a lot of dreams.
Mm. Damn,
People are
that's
scared
ooh, I
to,
never heard that. That's crazy.
people are scared to just have their like back up against the wall, bro. Or like, the new thing now is like, oh, if I leave, I won't have health insurance or dental insurance, and it's like, bro, you're gonna give up your dreams for dental insurance?
Damn, bro, that's crazy that you put it that way because it's really like it's such a low amount of money to just like crush your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like just to agree to just be a little robot. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
man.
this money and just be unhappy. Like, because there's no my thing, bro, is like there's no way anybody could tell me that the present set of situation, like the present situation that we're all in with this working and all this shit, ain't nobody happy doing it, bro. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody wants to go to work like that. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
no, bro.
Everybody wants to. I feel like everybody does want to accomplish something in their day and feel like they did something,
Hmm.
but everybody don't want to be going to work, dog. So it's like you said, man, so many people just agree to just be a part of that situation and have, you know, somebody they don't respect telling them what to do. And you know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy to me, man. Like it always kind of blows my mind that people don't realize how much in control they are of their own life. You know what I mean? Like it's your life. You're the one making the decisions. You're the one choosing the path. You choose how people treat you. You choose how you treat people. And for you to just maneuver yourself into like a corner, it just doesn't make any sense to me, you know?
It's your avatar, dude. Like, when you start looking at it as like you're just in this thing, like you can really go and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you really can.
I,
But
I feel like we're in it to do it the best that we can. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I said, bro. It'd be wild to me think about people just not even thinking outside of their day to day problems. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's really consuming. You know what I mean? And
there's a lot of distractions now, man. And you have to avoid that at all costs. You know, you have your people think because they have a 9 to 5, they can't do anything else, bro. But you can have you come home, you have a 6 to 9. Take that hour break, shower, whatever you got to do, and then work from 6 to 9 on your side business, your hustle, your art. And then you have three. Say you do that Monday through Friday, you put 15 hours into your craft or your side business. Do that for 2 years. Now you don't have the 9 to 5. Now you can spend all the time on your craft. Like that's the dream, bro, is to give the peace sign.
yeah,
But now you have to work twice as hard, but
mm-hmm.
it's something that you give a shit about.
Exactly.
That's the difference, bro. Like I'll put 80 hours a week into comedy if I could, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because that it is work, but like the editing and all that, it's for like the ultimate purpose.
Yeah.
And then eventually you can have a team. You can hire a camera guy. You can hire an editor. But you need like I feel like that's where I'm at, dude. Is like I kind of need a unit.
Yeah. And it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like, if you don't create that motion, nobody's going to want to help you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to, most of the time, people don't want to get you off the ground. They want to help you elevate. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, it's exactly what you said about pushing the car. Like, you got to push the car yourself if you want anybody to help you, you know?
Like, yeah, not many people go 0 to 60 with you, but like 60 to 100,
Mm-hmm.
they'll like haul out. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it. Like, let's go.
Yep.
Because, but everybody, that's the thing. Like, you have to bring something to the table.
Exactly. I always feel like it kind of like I said earlier, like you got to look at it from their point of view. Like if they're going to sacrifice their time, if they're going to sacrifice what they're doing, like their comfort, you got to be doing something that they got to feel like is really something worth being around.
And
You know what I
also,
mean?
like, this is the thing that people don't realize is if you're affiliated with somebody or they're affiliated with you, is you're a representation of them. So if you're like, you know, if you're like sloppy, not showered, out of shape, like no one's gonna want you in their crew,
Yeah.
regardless of, oh, you're funny or you're talented. It's like you got to come correct.
Yep.
Like you have to have everybody has to be on point.
Exactly. That's what
You
it
know,
is. You got to be on point, and that's the hard part for a lot of people, just because of the work that comes along with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I always think about this thing Andre 3000 said on the Rick Rubin podcast a long time ago. It was like not a long time ago. It was probably like 4 or 5 years ago by now. But he was basically just talking about with making music. He always kind of understood that like the repetition and the work that you're putting into it, into the craft, is what gets you to the next level. Just even from the aspect of you recording and practicing, that builds up the strength in those facial muscles. You know what I mean? Then your those muscles are stronger, and then you could do other vocal things that you couldn't do before. You could last a little, you have
I
a
didn't
little
even think
more
about
breath,
that.
exactly. And it's like
Yeah.
when he said that, it was like, dang, like it makes sense. Like you're literally, by working, you're literally learning, you're getting better, you're seeing what not to do. Because I feel like that's like another big thing for people. They don't recognize the value of like doing something wrong, because it at least tells you, I'm not going to do it that way. And you're eliminating it off the bat. You know what I mean? You're never going to go down that road again, because you already know that's not for me. That don't work. It didn't, it's, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, nah. So whenever that comes up again, you're already just pushing it off to the side, because it's like, yeah, that's not for me. It don't work.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, it's not for you.
Yep.
Get rid of it in
Facts.
any aspect. Yeah, it's a great point, bro. I think that's why I fall in love with comedy so much, is because it's just you get the instant gratification of like, hey, that thing that you wrote didn't get a laugh.
Yeah.
So now you can go home, you can be like, damn, I suck, or you can rewrite it, and it's crazy how like you switch one word or one sentence, and now it's like it hits.
Yeah.
Everybody's clapping, and you're like, wow. It's just it's you got to know what's funny, but it's also a puzzle,
Yeah.
and figuring out the formula. And I think that with music and everything has like a little formula to it,
Yep.
and it's just constantly playing with that, the process of it,
Yep.
patience, and then speaking slow. That's the thing that I've been working on, is like just take your time.
Yeah.
When you take your time, people see like, okay, he's like in the pocket, like,
Yeah.
people can read you like that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is definitely a good point. Like when people recognize that you're like seasoned, you know what I mean? They kind of perk up a little bit, because they know they're about to hear some shit, as opposed to like, feeling the amateur vibe.
Yeah, the body language, man.
Mm-hmm.
Psychology. That's the one thing I wish that if I did go to college, I would just take like a year of psychology. Just even if it was like the basics.
Yeah.
Cause like I've been in sales for a long time, and I'm just so fascinated, bro, how like the human mind
Yeah.
thinks of stuff.
Yo, speaking about like stuff that works, the way you kind of came across my radar before I seen you at the show that you and Jari were on, was the Florida Man stuff that you were doing. Would you say that that's like directly tied to like where you grew up, or?
In a way, yeah. So I moved to Bradenton when I was young, and it was just like cows, and you could smell, if it was a windy day, you could smell the cow shit, like on that kind of
Yeah.
level. Like we moved there when I was like 11, and it was like a culture shock because I had grew up in like DC area.
Okay.
So yeah, I would make fun of like, I was the only one in school that wasn't wearing a camo jacket. I didn't go hunting.
Yeah.
I didn't have a big truck. Never like was into that. Now I think it's like hilarious, but yeah, I was in LA, man, and I ordered the Florida Man hat. It was like it's a camo hat with a mullet attached to it.
Okay.
And I was gonna go to Rodeo Drive, call it Rodeo Drive because that's just what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And I was gonna like ask where like the gun shop or the pawn shop or the Bass Pro to like a bunch of rich people or like a bunch of Persian
Yeah. Yeah.
people and shit, and just cause a scene. You know what I mean, down there. And pandemic happened, so now I just have like this mullet thing, and I was like, I'm gonna do the Florida Man, and my friends were telling me out there, they're like, Florida Man is like, that's the character, bro. Like that's the way out. And I'm just like, whatever. It's a fucking mullet hat. But then yeah, like I would just play around with it, and I started making sketches, and then like I put a few TikToks out, and they got like a couple million views and stuff, and I'm like, all right, there's something here. And then I ended up I was applying for jobs, and I was doing a bunch of interviews, but no one was hiring. At the end of the day, no one was hiring me for some reason. It was like a front, like everyone's hiring urgently, but not hiring anybody.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, if I'm going to be doing 5 Zoom interviews a day and not getting hired. I might as well just troll. So I put the Florida man hat on and just kind of like made a whatever job I was applying for. I'd make like some weird backstory, and then a lot of it was off the top of my head because I didn't know what they were gonna say. So I'd play off of them, and it was like, it's just fun, dude. And I might do a bunch more. That's all people want from me now.
Yo, it's funny because it's funny you saying that. It made me think about it. Like all the times that I've gone to California, they like know right away you from Florida. Like they hear it in your voice. For some reason they know it from your outfits. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that they were saying out there too is like that we wear a lot of shorts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I guess out there they don't really wear shorts like that.
Well, they wear jeans and flip flops, and it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah,
they don't pick a lane. They'll have like a beanie and like a tank top.
I will say this though about California, man. Like you remember when you would watch like, because you grew up in Florida too, so remember you would watch like a Disney show or whatever when you was young, and the kid is like at the beach in a hoodie, and you was like, what the fuck is he doing wearing a hoodie at the beach? He
like
gotta be hot as fuck, because you're just thinking about Florida,
right?
You know what I mean? But then you go out to California and you see like what it's like out west. Like, yo, that weather is just like, if you've never been out there and you've never experienced it, that weather is perfect. Like you understand why it's expensive to live out there.
Southern California is probably the best climate on earth.
Right? Like
68 and just like sunny. So it's like cold but sunny. You can't even explain it.
Yo,
everything's room temp.
We shot a video one time in LA, and after the video was done, I caught a tan, but I never sweated.
Yeah.
It was like,
it's a great way
I thought about it, and I'm like, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, dang, I got mad tan.
That's a bar, bro.
Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. You out here, you step outside and you're instantly baking, bro. It's like the worst. I don't even like getting dressed in the summer. You know what I mean? Because like you don't even feel clean. Like we wear a nice outfit and you're sweating immediately when you walk outside.
Pit stains and shit.
Dog, it's the worst. It's the worst. I think that's a big reason why like the like people going out like discourages people. You know what I mean? Because it does for me,
you're
bro.
In the swamp now, brother.
If it's hitting, if that sun is hitting, bro, I'm home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be out there.
107. So
and that humidity, man. Like you ever seen that picture of the parking at the Orlando airport? No, the pickup. It's like a picture of the pickup at the Orlando airport, and then the caption is, "I could feel this photo."
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because whenever you come from another place,
those doors open.
Oh my gosh, bro! It feels like in the
Thank you
movies
for visiting the Orlando airport. Those doors open, bro. You just feel like you opened the oven door.
Yo, for real, feels like the movies where they're like in outer space and somebody opens the door that you know what I mean, that like destroys the atmospheric pressure or something like that. Exactly.
One guy burns alive.
Yeah, exactly,
that's exactly what that was.
Oh my gosh, that it's the worst, man. It's the worst.
Just fucking faint waiting on an Uber.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, man.
I love Florida though, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I've been to a lot of different places, and I feel like Florida. I mean, everybody says everything they want about Florida, but at the end of the day, we just do whatever we want to do, dog. Like it doesn't get any better than that, man.
A lot of people talking shit on Florida. A lot of people moving to Florida.
Facts.
A lot of people vacation. Hey, we see those Instagram photos. All right. Talking shit about Florida, bro. And then on a jet ski in Miami.
Next week. All right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
I think
it's not that bad, is it?
Low-key hating, you know what I mean?
Hating, bro. Take your ass back to
Especially
Connecticut.
like we was talking about in the beginning with the people up north. Ain't no way you know that you're pissed that you have to deal with that cold. Like,
for
ain't no way anybody up there is just happy about it.
Oh man, I'm in the pool on Christmas Day. What are you doing?
Facts.
Trying to dig your grandma out of the avalanche. Drinking vodka just so you can listen to your uncle.
Oh man. Yo, so what do you got coming up as far as like shows, any projects that you got going on?
Man, so I got to get with you offline.
Yes, sir.
Talking about filming the special.
Yes, sir.
I got the name for it. I don't know if I want to drop it yet. I don't want anyone to take it. It might be the title's too cold.
It's too cold. You know no. You might have to give it to me off air.
Off air, yeah. As soon as it goes off, I'll let you know. But yeah, I would love for you to shoot the special, man, or
Yeah,
something.
man, I'm working. I mean, I've been working with for years. Shout out my boy Freddie. I always shout him out on my podcast, and shout out my boy Johnny too. He's a super dope videographer, and I've just been trying to like, kind of like you were saying, man, like trying to get a nice little team together so we can like. I feel like there's so many dope people out here that just need a little help. Like we all do. You know what I'm saying? Like we all need like a little hand to spread the word a little more, to elevate what we all doing. You know what
Bro,
I
you
mean?
gotta everybody has to come together, man. It's gotta
Exactly.
be full Justice League
Mm-hmm.
2024, bro.
Yeah,
We need
man.
Aquaman and Superman.
For real. Every time you hear any story about anybody coming up, bro, they always had those one, two, three people that were locked in with them that they all cultivated it together and everybody ate off of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%, bro. You need it's also your graduating class. Like if you notice like a lot of, I hate to say the word, but like celebrities will come out at the same time.
Yeah.
It'll be like the same 8 people pop within a year of each other. And it's like, oh, like they probably went to school together, and a lot of the actors did go to the same like Santa
Mm-hmm.
Monica High School. But just with anything is
Yeah.
like you're here, in this part of Florida. I'm a little bit further away, but it's like, yeah, if we all meet downtown, or we all, I come out here and I do an episode with you every
Mm-hmm.
now and then, it's like everybody's got to rise together.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Like if I'm a fan of you, you're a fan of me, like the people that like our shit are gonna like each other's just off
Mm-hmm.
principle, bro. Because like anyone I meet that's friends with Jari, I'm like instantly, you know what I mean? It's just that's the immediate vibe. Is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a friend of a friend of Jari is a friend of mine.
Yeah, facts.
So it's just cool,
I don't know
man.
why I imagined you saying that with like a pint in like an old Irish
No, you
club, you
gotta
know what I
shake like
mean?
this,
Like
bro. Like
oh my
that.
God.
Oh my lord.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's
say
the
what you want, bro. That might be the worst time to live in history, medieval
bro.
times, but just to shake someone's hand like that would be worth it.
Dog, it's so funny. Like me and my wife was talking about that the other day because I'm like, I was saying the same exact thing. I'm like, bro, this time is terrible, bro. Like people, you always got to worry about somebody trying to take over your village. You know what I mean? Like you got a king that like he just whatever vibe he's feeling that day is however he's gonna do things.
It might pop off,
Yo,
bro.
it crazy. Like, and then it's like,
Someone might come to your castle,
bro,
4,000 deep.
then you got that like noble class that like you cannot look at them sideways at all, bro.
Right,
Because
right.
it's like, bro, like a cop pulls you over, you could kind of get away with saying some slick shit. You know what I mean? Like you could be pissed off about it. But back in the day, bro, a night going by, you know what I'm saying? You look at him and say, oh, he puppy cock. He's taking your head off, bro. Like you're not surviving that
They
one.
just discarded you back
Yeah,
then, bro.
facts. Like you heard about like how they used to like quarter people.
Oh yeah, bro.
Dog, it's yo for
Slice and
people
dice.
that don't know, quartering is literally what it sounds like. They cut your body in quarters.
Oh, they break you down like a QP.
Yo, crazy, bro, crazy. Like who
Yo.
just thought about that? Like,
No, bro. People were like, I have a whole thing about this. Like people were like, oh, it's a scary time now. And I'm like, bro, back then you would just like, oh, I'm gonna go take a piss. And like as you're peeing, you just hear like, ah, ah, and then you go back over the hill and like all your family's like on a stick.
yeah, bro.
And you're like, damn, bro.
Yo, it's funny because I had a similar thing about like the World War II times. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like people, like exactly what you said. Like people now be like, oh man, I hate for kids to grow up now. I'm like, bro, imagine you were a kid when they was just like drafting people. Like, nah, you going to war and people was just dying left and right. It was like a famine because there was no money like in the country. And it's
Yeah,
like
bro.
little kids are going to work at factories and stuff. It's like, come on, man. You upset? What's going on right
Bro,
now? We all chilling.
They would have kids back then just to have extra
Just to have
extra
help.
income.
Just to have help, bro.
Yeah, like, oh, we got Timmy in the coal mine.
Yo, it's
It's
crazy.
his
Like
first day in the mine. He's 4.
they're just literally having kids just like salivating, waiting for him to be able to do some work, bro.
I think we should put these Fortnite kids in the coal mines, bro.
Yo, you think they'll just
You
be
know,
doing the
so-
little dance like?
Oh shit.
But no, I definitely agree. Like I don't think that we're in like that crazy times. Like everybody's just saying crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like
Like, look, here's the thing, bro. People say we live in a scary time as if they're on the Gaza Strip. That's a scary time. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, facts.
We're chilling here, dog.
Facts.
Okay, yeah, we got a lot of shit we need to work on. I got that. But I don't have to worry about getting hit with a fucking missile,
Facts.
you know?
It's all about that perspective, man. Like and even like, so many people comment on like different situations and stuff, and it's like, bro, at the end of the day, you're chilling. So your opinion, I almost feel like their opinion is not even valid, because it's like you're not even there. You don't understand what's going on. You're not living it. You're not seeing anything firsthand. You're not talking to
Right.
people that are experiencing it. Like, it's like, everybody obviously can have their opinion, but at the end of the day, like, we don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like, we literally
Yeah.
have no clue.
You
Like,
saw a clip on Instagram and you're like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
it's a dark time.
Hmm.
Then you go get a salad at fucking Olive Garden.
Yeah. Nah, man, that's exactly how it be. But yeah, man, it was dope having you on for sure.
Bro, absolutely, man.
Like you said, man, we're definitely gonna get in some more content, some more stuff. This year, we've been talking about on the podcast, like, it's me, my boy Joe, my boy Quincy, and we've all just been talking about, taking everything to the next level, just from the point of view of really, really like locking in with like the community, really locking in with people as far as like just spreading the word, and just, putting the content out there in a more physical way. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
kind of like
man.
we were talking about with the pandemic and stuff, everything kind of went digital. It was all content and everything. But it's like, I feel like now, like, people want that real.
People want to see you in the flesh, man.
Exactly.
It's a different experience. Like, people see comedy clips online and like, oh, that guy's not funny. And it's like, I bet if you went to see him live, you'd be peeing yourself.
The same joke. It'd be the same joke you see on a TikTok if you was there and caught the vibe.
It's the energy, bro. We're not supposed to consume live art through a 7-inch screen or whatever it is, Even a TV screen, it's not the same effect.
Yeah, facts.
Completely different, bro.
I always think about, like, you saying that makes me think of Donnell Rawlings. Like, I saw him at the Improv one time, and I always heard how Dave Chappelle says that, like, he's the best stand-up that he's seen.
He's so damn funny,
bro. When I was just floored with how funny it was. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like you said, sometimes it just don't translate to TV the same way. He's always been funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But seeing him live, bro, and I've seen a lot of comedians live, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, I've seen D.L. Hughley, freaking Charlie Murphy before he passed, Eddie Griffin, Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah,
like,
you're like a true appreciator of the art.
Yeah, I love comedy, bro. I love comedy. And I really like Comedians in Cars. You know what I mean? I always catch that. I love that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Donnell Rawlings was just one that I was like, dang, bro, this was so freaking funny. Like, he really is like one of the funniest stand-ups I ever seen. Like,
and that's the thing, bro. The people that truly work on the craft and aren't making the sketches and the little like memes and shit, like, you go see them live, you're like, oh, that's where they've been putting the work in. But sometimes the real, true, raw work doesn't get rewarded.
Yeah.
So you got to play the game of like, like, I'm not a big fan of the Florida Man interview.
Yeah.
Like, I think some of them are funny, but it's not what I want to do.
No, like, I feel that, because there's always that little dance between like stuff that works and the stuff that you really want to do, and kind of find like a balance in that. Especially with music, like, music is very like, there's a specific formula if you want to be successful in a certain way, that you can follow that formula, and it's almost not a guarantee, because nothing's a guarantee, but it's almost like if you work hard at it and do it, you can get in that lane. You know what I mean? And it's like kind of navigating where, like, okay, where do I fit in though? You know what I mean?
Right. I feel like it's the Florida Man interviews are like when an artist puts out like a single, like a radio single, and it's not what they really want to do, but it's catchy and it gets 10 million eyes to their album.
Yeah.
And then people, 1 million of those 10 million go, wow, I actually like the rest of their catalog. I didn't know they had 10 albums before. And then that one song makes the whole catalog, worth it.
It's kind of like something I heard Mac Miller say, and we'll kind of start wrapping up with this, is like, he would say, you got to give that first album for, like, basically for the record label, which basically what he's saying by that is like, you got to give the people what they want so that you can give them what you want. You know what I
And
mean?
that's the hardest thing to do, bro.
And it's like you gotta. It's kind of like an exchange. It's like, hey, all right, I'm giving you the content that you want from me. Here it is. But now, this is what I'm coming with next. Hopefully, you've gained enough trust in the fans that they're gonna give that thing a chance. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's that little dance.
It's that one for you, one for me.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
I feel like, yeah, if 3 million people see the Florida Man video, the next video they watch is my stand up, and they go, oh, this guy has more than just a character. He can actually go up there with just a mic and do his thing, you
Yeah.
know? And if that's the billboard or the ad, quote unquote, to get them to come see me live, then
Mhm.
we'll do that, bro. Because if as long as it's making people laugh, that's my goal.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that I'm not a big fan of.
Mhm. And everybody make sure they tap in with Sean too, man. Because I don't know if we were talking about it on the show or off air before, but like the comedy scene in Orlando is just like, bro. There's so many shows going on that are so funny. A lot of people that know me, know Jari too, so it's like they know that he's doing his thing. But it's like, bro, like y'all got to actually come out and see these shows. You know what I mean? Because it's a vibe.
Yeah, man. If you haven't seen me live, man, I've been really working. I feel like I'm happy with where I'm at. Obviously, I want to keep growing, but yeah, man, guys like Jari, shout out Cam Patterson, man. I'm gonna be out in
Oh yeah,
California.
nice.
He's got me on some of his summer tour, so I'm grateful for that, and it's cool to see him.
You opening for him in the Improv as well, right? Or did you already do it?
December 14th,
December
man.
14th.
Yeah, shit, dude. I'm going out to Austin. I got a show at Roscoe's Comedy Club the 13th, and then the next morning I'm flying back with Jari because we got a show that night.
Nice,
2 shows
man.
opening for Cam, man.
Love to see it.
He's selling them out, bro. Orlando's own, and yeah, it's cool, bro. I've always said this, man, and sorry I keep dragging it on,
No,
but
go ahead, bro.
I always make the joke. I don't mind being and friends. So I say like Cam Patterson and friends, like Jari and Sean Madden and friends. Like as long as someone's on the billboard, bro. Like,
Yep.
and I'm opening. Like,
I seen
that's
Cam on
cool,
Kill
bro.
Tony, man. He's funny, bro. He's funny. I
Bro,
haven't checked him out. Like, I gotta check him out. I'm trying to make it out to that second because y'all added a second show in Orlando, right?
yeah, bro. The
Yeah.
first one sold out in like
Yeah,
2
I wasn't
hours,
able to
bro.
get the tickets.
Yeah, so he added a second one. I'm sure we'll have more details.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay watching my story at I'm Sean Madden on Instagram, YouTube, same thing. And dude, plug your stuff too, because if we're gonna do
Yeah,
joint,
for sure, man. Check me out on Instagram at lester.wav. My website is lesterwav.com. Check out my music. I'm 2024. I'm just focused on pumping out a lot of music. Last year was just more like trying to get my name out there. I just dropped like my Spotify rap stats and I hit like 511,000 streams just on Spotify.
Man, congrats.
Yeah,
That's
man.
huge numbers, bro.
It's been super dope just like feeling that growth from putting that work in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You'll always be rewarded for the work you put in, bro.
Facts.
Whether you don't see it now or in 5 years, you will be rewarded for taking that first step or that third step. It's all to get to that next thing, man. So, yeah, bro, super proud of you, man. Like, that's some serious numbers, and I look forward to seeing what
it's
you
all
do.
going up from here, man.
Absolutely,
and
bro.
You know the handshake we got to go out with, right? Oy.
Yeah, bro. You know why they did that, right?
What?
It was to see if they had a knife on them.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't know
That
that.
shit's gangster though.
That is though.
And yeah, man. Shit, I had one final thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, be on the lookout for I think we might be using some of your samples to intro, outro the show.
Yeah, so, man, I'm definitely gonna. I have a whole bunch of different vibes that I could send you to see what kind of fits your style. And
I'd love that.
We'll definitely do
Just
that.
Just a nice intro song produced by you. I think that'd be great. I had another guy that wanted to do it, but life gets in the way.
Yeah.
But if I had like one of your originals or something, or just a clip of your song, I think that'd be a vibe, bro. And,
yeah,
I would love to do more episodes, have you on the show.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super down, man. Like I said, this year I'm all about creating.
Because I'll drive out here to record once a week, bro. If we want to do, I thought that was,
Yeah, I'll be down too, bro. I'll be down to pull up on you too. I know you're doing by the pool. It's a nice little vibe out
try
there.
to do it there, when they're not mowing the lawns.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. That's
there's
true.
Like a helicopter.
Yeah, man. I used to go to a studio that they had like a rock band that would come like every once in a while to practice in the room next door.
Yeah.
And whenever they came, it was like I couldn't record, or I would have to wait in between their clips, you know, in between their takes, you know.
Yeah.
And they were like a heavy metal band, you know. I'm in the
You can only
recording booth.
soundproof so much.
Yeah, bro. It was couldn't stand that, man.
Damn, bro. But yo, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
We definitely gonna do a lot more, man. And me and Jari been talking. I'm definitely looking forward to doing some more work with Jari and content with him. Like I said, man, I feel like y'all definitely doing y'all thing, and this year is gonna be dope, man.
big things on the way, bro.
Facts.
Big things. Y'all stay tuned.
For sure.
We'll see y'all soon.
Stay butter.